Hi everyone, welcome to the Cars and Creators channel, where we talk about cars and some of the technology used by YouTube creators. Back in August of 2021, I was able to purchase the exact RAV4 Prime trim and color that I wanted at MSRP. In this week's video, I'm going to share some tips for finding your RAV4 Prime at MSRP or even under. This is an updated version of the video that I shot 6 months ago on this topic. That video was so popular and got so many views, but so much has changed in the last 6 months that I thought it'd be really important for me to update the content. I really think now is the time where you can find your RAV4 Prime at MSRP or even under. Unfortunately, however, you won't be able to get a federal tax credit anymore on the RAV4 Prime. So really, the first thing that you need to do is figure out the exact trim and color that you want on your Prime. It's going to be easier if you're flexible with the trim and the color. But as I said, I got the exact color and trim that I wanted for MSRP. And really, if you're spending this kind of money, you should get exactly what you want. So let's first discuss trim. The first trim that I want to look at is the base RAV4 Prime SE. This is the cheapest one, coming in at $39,800. The base trim doesn't come with the weather and moonroof package, and they only sell this model in the Northeast Atlantic states, making this one of the most difficult ones to find. So this is just a quick update. In the process of editing this video, I kind of looked at some of the allocation spreadsheets, and something I noticed that was different from what it was before was the RAV4 Prime, the base SE model, now looks like it's available in more places than it used to be. So as I'm kind of looking through the spreadsheet, so I'm going to kind of scroll down the spreadsheet here and you guys can see this. So I did a quick allocation spreadsheet, and yeah, if you notice, the RAV4, the dealership in Sunnyvale, California, actually got the most of them. So this was in 2022. They got 22 or 94 of them. And then you'll notice Hudson City in New Jersey. Now they previously couldn't get these as well, but they had them available to them. And if I continue to scroll down the list, you'll see the states that I kind of talked about before. So you'll see Massachusetts and Rhode Island and Vermont and those kind of states. But as I continue to scroll down the page a little bit more, you're going to see states such as Oregon getting the RAV4 Prime SCs. And so I guess what I'm saying is, if you do want a RAV4 Prime SC, I think you can probably get it from states like California now, which wasn't the case before. And so that's pretty exciting. So hopefully you find this information useful. And now to continue with our regular scheduled programming in this video. The only reason I think you would consider this model is, the first reason would be if you want the absolutely cheapest model of the Prime that you could get. The second reason is if you need additional headroom. The base model doesn't come with a weather and moonroof package, meaning that you are going to get additional headroom, probably in the 6 to 7 inches range over the RAV4 Prime SE with the weather and moonroof package. Then there is the most widely available trim, the SE model with the weather and moonroof package. It's only $1,665 more than the base, coming in at $41,465. This will be by far the easiest trim to find. There is also the base XSE model. This is the one without the premium package. You could consider that, and they are available, but honestly, there are so many goodies that you get with the premium package, I really wouldn't consider getting the XSE without the premium package. The base XE sells for $43,125, and you have the option of adding some packages. The XSE with premium package sells for $48,470. So just a couple of favorites from the XSE with premium package. Probably the first one, and one of my favorites, is the inverter. The inverter is absolutely a must-have if you do any sort of camping. Having that 1500 watt electrical outlet is awesome. We use it all the time when camping to power a ceramic heater, a coffee maker, and a small microwave. The digital rear view mirror. We always have dogs in the cargo area, and I can't see out the rear view mirror with them in the back. So the digital rearview mirror is super handy and really for me is a must-have. The panoramic moonroof. The panoramic moonroof gives ourselves and our dogs a lot more headroom, and it brings in lots of light. It's probably about 5 to 6 inches more headroom than the SE with the moonroof package. I'm not going to discuss colors all that much because really it's a personal choice. And really I kind of sort of think that all the colors on the RAV4 Prime, I think they all look really great. But what you should know is that there are colors that are more widely available and there are especially colors that are more difficult to get. So you need to consider that when you're thinking about what color you want for your RAV4 Prime. Gray, silver, and white are probably the easiest to find, with blueprint and red being the hardest to find. The most difficult trim and color combinations to find is the supersonic red XSE with the premium package. It's known as the unicorn on the RAV4 Prime Facebook group. So, once you have the trims and colors selected, or the ones that you will accept, now it's time to start the search. One of the things that you might want to consider with the Prime is purchasing from out of state. They only sell RAV4 Primes still in certain states, and some states get very few of them. I live in Nevada, and we've gotten one. So, you need to consider this when looking for your RAV4 Prime, and unless your state sells a bunch of them, you need to consider looking out of state. It's really not that difficult buying from out of state. Dealers do this all the time, and your local DMV shouldn't have any issues with this as well. The first thing that you need when searching for your RAV4 Prime is data. Data is invaluable. I wanted to know when I was looking for my RAV4 Prime which dealers got the most of them, because that would narrow it down on who's likely to have some available. There are a number of spreadsheets that are available online that have allocations and other data associated with RAV4 Primes that can be available to you. You can find them in locations such as Reddit and the RAV4 Prime Facebook group. There was a great allocation spreadsheet which showed which dealers had the most recent allocations and a bunch of other data. Unfortunately, Toyota changed some things on the back end which broke the ability to update the sheet. The owner of the sheet is still trying to get the data another way, but as of the recording date of this video, the sheet hasn't been updated since June of 2022. So, instead of pointing you to that sheet, I of course created my own. You're going to find a link to that Google Sheet in the description of the video. This Google Sheet includes a pivot table showing you the dealers which have the most allocations. So let's go ahead and open up that sheet. You will see that I already sorted it based on the number of allocations the dealer got in 2022. The dealer that got the most allocations in 2022 is Toyota of Sunnyvale, California. There are a couple of strategies that you could use when looking at the data on this sheet. You could look at the data and you could focus on dealers that are only in your state, and that could make the purchasing process a little bit easier. To do this, you would simply click on the pivot table, then go to the filters area, click on the drop-down box showing all the items displayed. You'll want to clear that selection and then scroll down to your state and select it, and then click OK. Now it will just be showing you the dealers in your state that were allocated primes in 2022. A similar strategy would be to focus on not only your state, but in the states that are closest to you to make driving to and picking up your prime a little bit easier. Lastly, if you want to find the best deals on primes, you could focus your attention to dealers on the East Coast. Those dealers typically have the most primes available and will be able to offer them at the lowest cost. When contacting the dealers, make sure you let them know that you're purchasing from out of state. Over the last couple of months, some dealers have limited the sale of RAV4 Primes to only those folks living in their state. If you're only willing to pay MSRP or under, you want to make sure you let the dealer know about that as well. Finally, you're going to want to let them know the color and trim that you're interested in. You also want to focus on allocations, not necessarily what they have on the lot. It's unlikely dealers are going to have RAV4 Primes on the lot, so what you want to know is, do they have RAV4 Primes coming in, and ask them if those allocations don't have deposits yet. Once you've contacted all those dealers, you're likely to get a lot of junk emails and a lot of phone calls from salespersons wanting to sell you things other than RAV4 Primes. Just be patient. So once you have a dealer with an allocation, you're going to want to put down a deposit to make sure you reserve it. You're going to also want to start the financing and paperwork process first, as opposed to waiting to get to the dealer. You can either have the car shipped to you, or better yet, fly to where you are purchasing and take an epic road trip back home. We're from Las Vegas, and we bought ours in Connecticut at MSRP. Big shout out to A1 Toyota in New Haven and our salesman, Quincy Smith. On our way home, we visited a bunch of bucket list locations, including Niagara Falls in Buffalo, Badlands National Park, and Mount Rushmore National Monument in South Dakota. It was awesome, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. I wish everyone luck in finding their RAV4 Prime, and I truly hope this information helps you. As always, if you found value in this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to my channel. I've got lots of great content coming up, including one that compares the fuel mileage of a RAV4 Prime with the OEM crossbars installed versus a RAV4 Prime without the crossbars. You're going to want to check that out. So I hope to see you all again very soon.